What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm so mad because I forgot to include an intro for this look, but whatever, let's just jump right into the tutorial. So I am starting off with my Ruby Kisses eyebrow pencil, and I'm just lightly filling in, you know, same old over here. I already did one eye off camera because, you know, for the sake of time, but I am concealing underneath of my brow with the e.l.f. Hydrating Concealer in Deep Olive and Medium Beige. Then I'm just going to use that medium beige color on my lid to prep it for eyeshadow. I like to use a concealer just because it gives me a little bit more pigment and it picks up on the colors a lot better than using a translucent eyeshadow primer. So yeah. And then just taking any fluffy brush and packing all of that concealer out to make sure it's nice and buffed and a nice even base. And this part is actually very important. Before starting on your eyeshadow, you want to set your brow bone and right underneath the base of the brow just so that color does not transfer. As you can see on the other eye that I already have finished, you see how my brow bone is still kept highlighted, although those colors kind of fade into the darker one. Yeah, that's why. So going into the Makeup by Jaw Clientele palette, I am taking Too Much on this tapered blending brush, and I'm just packing that right into my crease first, and then just shaping the socket of my eye. And then I'm just blending that to my liking and making it pretty much as dark as you want it. This part is all preference. So then I mixed Boy and Brownie from the same palette, and those are going to be my transition shades. You see how we have a little bit of a burgundy transition into the black? That is what these colors are going to be for. So I'm starting off with the hollows of the innermost portion of my eye socket. This is going to help when it comes to contouring to give that nice chisel. And again, the reason why we put that loose powder on the brow bone is because these two colors are not going to transfer any higher. I do like to keep it pretty structured. And so now I'm just taking a plain fluffy brush and buffing all that out. This step is optional, but I would recommend it just so that this black color picks up a little bit more. I just used some excess concealer to give it something to adhere to, but this is the Just Black shade from the same palette, and I'm just using a packer brush and making sure I pack that as dark as I can get it. I'm just gonna prep my natural lashes for false lashes. I really don't have any natural lashes, so lash preference isn't really a preference for me. So yeah, just coat your natural lashes because it's gonna make it a lot easier. And the lashes that I'm gonna use today are from my site. This is the style Full of It. I love this lash because it's super full and fluffy. It's definitely one of those dramatic lashes. So if you're ready for that bold step, go ahead and try these out. They're a little bit difficult to put on just because of the fluffiness, so just take your time and be patient with them. I would recommend just having a mirror right in front of you so that you can tilt your head back and get your lid as flat as possible, and you should be good. And to line the waterline, I am taking this NARS Jet Black Kohl liner. It's honestly a super smooth gel liner, and I'm just, I need my waterline. Because I do not want that to smear anywhere, I am setting it with the same Just Black color that's on our lid, and then giving it a little bit of transition with that Brownie and Boy shade that we used in our transition. On to the face portion, so I am starting off with my Pond's Dry Skin Cream Moisturizer. This is definitely a OG go-to, works good for many skin types, and is all natural. So I'm just using that to moisturize my skin. Doesn't matter what type of skin you have, you should definitely moisturize. And then going right in with my e.l.f. Hydrating Concealers. These are the same one that we use in our brow bone. So hey, you're not reaching for any extra product. First, using Deep Olive, I'm going to trace the outer portion of my brow. This is just going to give it a little bit more structure. I feel like I wanted structure today. Sometimes I'll leave it, sometimes I'll trace it. Hey, it's really just how I'm feeling. And I'm just going to buff that out with a small blending brush, and then going right back into the medium beige shade and highlighting right underneath my eyes. Side little tip, it is kind of important if you want that chiseled effect to get the concealer as close as you can to the bridge of the nose, and then to make sure your line is pretty much symmetrical with the center of your face. This is just going to help when it comes time to contouring. Color correcting a little bit above my lip, just because she gets a little dark up there sometimes, but that was deep cinnamon. And then I'm using the Morphe foundation and Can't Stop Won't Stop, putting all of those together and applying those in the areas where I do not have concealer. The foundation brush that I was using was the e.l.f. Foundation brush. Honestly, I'm obsessed with that brush. And then I just like to go in sometimes with my beauty blender to blend the concealers in some areas. This one was dried out a little too long, so I felt like it would have been a lot more beneficial to blend it with a damp sponge rather than a brush. So again, using a brush between a sponge is really just preference. It's whatever works for you at the end of the day. I did not realize how ashy my hands were. Why did y'all not tell me? That's crazy. But y'all know I'm extra and I like to go in with a little bit more. So I'm taking light beige instead of medium beige, and that's what I use to highlight the innermost portion of my eye. And then I'm just mixing deep cinnamon and rich ebony together, because alone one is too dark and the other is too light, but together they're perfect. Using a small brush so that I can get in those precise areas and not mess up that under eye that we work so hard on, I'm going to lightly buff that out. I'm actually very, very light-handed with the brush touching my face, you guys. So yeah, be gentle in moving this product around, especially if you're blending with a brush. Questions on contouring, so I'm going to kind of quickly break it down for y'all. Blend everything upwards. When you're contouring, you want to create hollows in the face but lift the face at the same time, and highlighting is going to broaden, bring out those areas. So when you are blending that, make sure you're buffing up, because we're lifting the cheeks. When we're blending the jawline, buff up but also buff backwards so that you're getting that entire structure of your jawline. And then this is a great tip to go back in with your damp sponge. So I would honestly just have both of those tools handy so that you can blend as you go. And then going back in with the same loose powder that we used on our brow bone, Makeup Revolution Banana Deep, setting right underneath of our eyes and only in the areas that we highlighted. So pretty much your T-zone. Then we want to set that liquid contour. So I am using the Morphe Trailblazer bronzer just to give my face some warmth. Circular motions because it's going to blend most natural. And again, I am blending upwards into my highlighted area. It's perfectly fine because we're going to go back over it with another powder to keep that brightness, but we'll get there. Going into the Saharan Blush 2 palette, I'm taking those two colors that I showed you and popping this right above the bronzer area. You really want this to kind of discreetly transition from one to the next. You don't want to see where your blush and your bronzer starts and stops. This is the part I was talking about where we're going to keep that brightness. So pressing in that loose powder instead of just sweeping it away, because it's probably going to stick to certain areas of the concealer and it's just going to be a mess. And before I go in to do anything with that under eye, I'm just setting the rest of the perimeter of my face with MAC NC45 Studio Fix powder. So now this is the part I was talking about, keeping that brightness. Taking Morphe Filter number 7 or any pressed powder that mimics your highlight. This is what you're going to use to basically give it that smooth filtered look. I feel like when you just go in with your brush and pat down that loose powder, yes, it still is set, but you want to give it that seamless feel, and that's not what a loose powder does because it's loose. Pressed powder, however, you can press it down and get that structure the way you want it. What you guys see me doing right here is just going over the area where I contoured somewhat of my nose, and I just added some extra bronzer. And then this is just the fluorescence spray, and I like to pounce all that in with my damp beauty sponge because this just gives it a nice skin finish. Today I'm dipping back into an oldie but a goodie, y'all. MAC Hyper Real Glow. This is their palette that they came out with. There's 3 different ones. This is the middle one. I'm not exactly sure what the name of it was, but I'm using that to highlight the highest points of my cheeks, the tip of my nose, right in between my eyes, sides of my nostrils, inner tear duct, and my chin. The reason why I do my nose that way in particular is because I feel like it gives me the most like natural, and I wish you guys could see me when I am doing like the air quotes natural look of a highlight on your nose, but as opposed to just going straight down with a strip of highlighter, I just feel like it photographs a lot better as well too. So I'm just gonna add some mascara to my little bitty bottom lashes. I feel like although they may be small, it's still necessary just to complete the look, and I got a little bit close for y'all to see, not purposefully, but hey, it works. For my go-to nude lip, I'm starting off with the NK Makeup Cocoa Lip Liner. I am going to slightly overline. If you guys can tell the difference of how I'm overlining, I start with the bottom of my lip first and lightly overline that. And then I do that pressing motion a lot because it helps me to gauge where my top lip is going to be, and also to give it that natural ombre effect as well. Gosh, you guys, and I am down to like the last little bit of my Rimmel London Take a Chill Pill lip stain. I am literally obsessed with this. I got it last year, in the middle of last year during the pandemic, and it was the only one that they had. It was on sale when I got it, so it might have been like a discontinued type of thing. But yeah, they also have the matte liquid lipsticks. I would say the shade Raw Embrace is the most similar, but it does not give it that. You see how this matte is a matte, but it still has like a satin feel? That's what the lip stain, this one, yeah. Y'all get it. Okay, so boom, I'm going in. I wanted y'all to see how it looked, a little bit matte. It was cool, but I'm a glossy girl, so I'm going in with just a clear lip gloss and popping that right over top. And yeah, this pretty much wraps up the look, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this first date night, smoky eye, Valentine's Day, whatever I decide to call it, honestly. But I am going to do a few more Valentine's Day looks because it is coming up on that season, the season of love and whatnot. If you guys want to see more tutorials like this, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and also hit that bell notification so that you are notified whenever I upload another video. Until next time, Layah Babes.